Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Today I want to ask you a question. Who are you becoming when you're the most fully yourself? I think that's one of the biggest questions that we can ask ourselves in life. Not who you had to become because of work, not because of survival, not because life threw a whole bunch of plot twists at you. I mean you, your actual self. The reason this is on my mind is because I just went to see the movie The Odyssey. And what stuck with me wasn't the war, it wasn't the monsters, it wasn't even the adventure. It was the journey home. Odysseus spends years trying to get back home. And at one point, he spends 7 years on an island where he almost forgets he even had a life waiting for him somewhere else. I remember sitting there thinking, that feels like life. Sometimes we get so busy surviving, so busy accomplishing, so busy becoming who we think we need to become, that we forget to ask, how do I find my way back to myself? And honestly, I think that's one of the most beautiful things astrology has ever helped me do. Not because it told me who I was, because it helped me remember who I already was underneath everything that was layered on top of me. I need to look here. Yeah, let me look at you and not myself. If you see me looking this way, I'm staring at myself. I'm getting used to it, you guys. Bear with me. People ask me all the time, where do I even start in my birth chart? For me, I always come back to 4 places: the sun, the moon, the rising sign, and the north node. Not because they're the only important placements, because together they tell a story. They're all sitting around the same table having one conversation. Let's start with the sun. A lot of people will tell you that the sun is your identity. I don't actually think that's where I would start with the sun. The way I think about the sun is your conscious life force. It's asking, what are you consciously choosing to give life to? What are you illuminating? What keeps pulling your attention? What are you cultivating? The sun reminds me of a flashlight in a dark room. Wherever you point that flashlight, that's where your awareness goes. That's where your energy goes. That's where life starts to grow. Identity can change. Your hairstyle can change, your career can change, even the way you describe yourself can change. But your life force, that's the part of you that's constantly trying to bring something into life. That stays with you. To me, the sun isn't asking, who are you? It's asking, who are you consciously becoming? Then I look at the moon. If the sun is consciousness, the moon is the reflection of that consciousness. The moon is constantly receiving experience. It's taking in life. It's asking the question, how am I experiencing what I'm consciously choosing? People often reduce the moon to emotions. I think emotions are a part of the story. Your feelings are information. They're showing you how you're receiving your own life. Think about the moon. It doesn't create its own light. It reflects the light of the sun. It travels through the sky, gathering experience, and every month it returns to meet the sun again. I love that symbolism. It's almost like every month your inner world comes back and says, okay, here's what we learned. Your moon is helping you understand how your environment affects you, what nourishes you, what drains you, and how you're receiving the life your sun keeps creating. Then we can move on to the rising sign, or the ascendant. This is probably one of the placements I think that gets misunderstood the most. People say it's your mask. I honestly don't see it that way, and I find it a little frustrating every time I hear that. I think your rising sign is how you naturally move through life, how you embody your consciousness, how you interact with the world before you even realize what you're doing. Think about the way different people walk into a room. Some naturally connect, some naturally observe, some naturally organize, some naturally explore. They're not pretending, they're just moving. Your rising sign is the way your entire chart begins interacting with life. It's not just your first house. It influences how you approach every house in your chart, every experience, every chapter. Sometimes other people notice how you move before you even do. Not because they're seeing a mask, because they're seeing a pattern you've embodied for so long that it's become second nature. Finally, the North Node. If I had to explain the North Node without using astrology, I'd simply call it the invitation to growth. It's the feeling that keeps calling you towards something Sometimes it's exciting, sometimes it's uncomfortable, sometimes it feels like one of those solicitors that won't stop calling your phone. You're sitting there thinking, can you please leave me alone? Meanwhile, the North Node is like, nope, you actually signed up for this. And that's why I laugh, because growth rarely arrives when it's convenient to us. It keeps calling, it keeps inviting, it keeps asking. It keeps pulling on the invisible hook in your chest until eventually you answer. For me, my North Node is in Pisces. And every single time I think I can control every detail of my life, hello South Node in Virgo, life gently reminds me, build the raft, put it in the water, and trust yourself enough to let the current carry you wherever you need to go. That's what my North Node feels like. Not certainty, trust. And that's my North Node in Pisces. But that's the invitation that keeps coming up for me when it comes to the North Node. So if these 4 placements were sitting together around a table, I think the conversation would sound something like the sun saying things like, this is what we're trying to bring to life, guys. The moon would say, here's what we've been experiencing along the way. The rising sign would say, here's how we're moving through it. And the North Node would smile and say, don't forget, this whole journey is helping us grow. No wonder life feels confusing sometimes. They're all speaking different languages, trying to help you become one whole person. So, can astrology help you find your way home? I don't think it gives you a map with every single turn already planned. I think it gives you something even more valuable, a language. A language that helps you recognize yourself. A language that leaves breadcrumbs. So no matter how far life takes you, you can always find your way back home. Not home as a place, home as yourself. Your chart doesn't define you. Your chart helps you remember yourself. Thank you for exploring the world with me today, you guys. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you're interested in the kind of content that we talk about here on Learn This Life. I really appreciate you being here. I love you. Live with love, you guys.